Over the last 4 years, Coach Josh Heupel and company have seen plenty of relief when it comes to the depth and talent on the roster, but there's still some areas that cause pause for concern. One of those being the secondary, which took a big hit when Jordan Thomas went down with a season-ending injury, and he was expected to be the starter at that star position. So there's some moving parts now that Tennessee has to sort out over the next 3 weeks. I'm Paige Dower. This is the Field Pass.
You know, we want competition, and we've got that at every position.
Now, while losing Jordan Thomas to that season-ending injury is a big hit to Tennessee, there are still a number of guys left that will be able to fill in at that star position and continue to elevate the secondary. You have guys like Andre Turntine, Christian Harrison, Christian Charles, Jacoby Thomas, and a promising freshman in Boo Carter. And similar to the orange and white game, anytime there's a scrimmage inside Neyland Stadium, Boo Carter continues to shine, especially in his playmaking ability and understanding his role and concepts with the team. And the biggest compliment his teammates can really give him is that he is able to get better every single day at practice, and that improvement and development in his game has made him such an exciting watch at practice.
Boo's a great player. He's extremely talented. You know, he's just learning, and the more he learns, the better he gets. Like literally every single day, he's getting better just because he's getting more knowledge and learning our defense better. And he's a playmaker, so he's exciting to watch.
Now, part of being that exciting player in practice or in scrimmage is being able to be a dynamic playmaker, understanding where you are in space, being able to make plays in tight coverage. And the coaches talked a lot about how Boo Carter is able to do just that.
Really good player. The guy is so talented, you know. I mean, he's very competitive. And I just said it, he's very athletic. So he's versatile. I mean, Boo can play a lot of positions. We're just putting him right in a position where you have to make plays. I mean, you got to be really good at the star. Those are the position in our defense that schematically he's going to be involved almost in every play.
Another player who's been an exciting watch here inside fall camp has been transfer Jermod McCoy. He comes to Tennessee after a season at Oregon State. Following practice, secondaries coach Willie Martinez says they were able to make 4 picks against the Tennessee offense. One of the guys who was able to have a pick actually was Jermod McCoy. His pick was actually a pick 6, and it came while guarding Chris Brazel and with Nico Iamaleava at quarterback.
It just makes me so much better. Like, we're both competing because we both want to win. So, like, giving our all to each other is just going to make us better at the end.
Now, McCoy says that was only his 2nd pick of preseason fall camp, and of course it was his favorite because he did so against Brazel and Nico. He says why he enjoyed doing that against Nico is because iron sharpens iron. It's been a sentiment we've said all fall camp, and mostly because it's taught him and it is teaching him that he needs to be better with his eyes, because Nico's able to play off of his eyes and read him so well that he's not always able to go up and get picks off of a Chris Brazel or off of a Nico.
I feel like Nico's making me better too, because like Nico, he's like reading my eyes. I got to learn how to like give a different look than what he thinks is finna come. So like he's definitely made me better, and I feel like I've helped him too, to learn how like DBs are gonna like give him looks in the game.
And that pick against Chris Brazel might have been a little sweeter because that wideout room gives Coach Willie Martinez secondary about all they can handle. And when I asked Coach Martinez after practice, what is it like having that test every single day at practice, all he could do was laugh and shake his head.
Every day, his speed, his competitiveness. Like, Braz is very competitive and plays with a lot of fire and energy. We better do that on our side of the ball, right? I mean, that's what you got to have, great energy and stuff like that. But very competitive, high-level player. So that's only going to make us better. And we got a great group of wide receivers. That again, they're going to be playing on Sundays, right? So it's easy for my job to just tell the kids, hey man, you want a great resume? Put it on video. Put it on video against these guys who are going to be playing on Sunday. And Braz is one of those guys, highly competitive, physical player, not very quiet. It's kind of cool. That's kind of like we like it. And but he's making us better.
Something I could say, I don't think it's just, I don't really see a drop off from when they go from like 1s to 2s. So like I think we're all just making each other better, like for sure.
Now, Jermod McCoy was rated the #9 corner in the portal. He comes to Tennessee again from Oregon State, where he played 12 games and started 5 as a true freshman. He led the Beavers with 9 passes defended, 7 of those were pass breakups and 2 interceptions. He also totaled 31 tackles during his rookie season. So, of course, it makes sense that he's been able to make such a seamless transition here at Tennessee.
First thing I'll say about Jermod, he's such a great teammate. You know, you come from a different situation, okay, and obviously in the dynamics of college football now, right? Different team last year. He comes to our program, man, and you know, he is who he says he was. You know, high character. You know, he's a great player, but gosh, doggy, he's a great kid. You know, he's a great young man, and coming into our room, he knows exactly how to feel. You know, had a good feel for the room, the awareness of fitting in, and he's led. He's not the loudest guy, but you know, just little things, you know, where guys might be complaining or not sure about something, man, you know, there's always a positive spin to it. He sees that glass half full. And I've noticed that from the beginning, is the consistency every day. He's a very competitive person, both on and off the field. And he's a playmaker. You know.
Christian Charles is also expected to have a bigger role this season. It was actually Christian Charles a season ago who ended his season with a season-ending injury to a torn Achilles. He missed the last 11 games of his junior campaign. This season, he feels that he's back to 100%, kind of adding that he wouldn't even be out on the field if he didn't feel 100% confident in himself and wasn't 100% recovered from that torn Achilles. But he did say his first couple of practices, he felt like he had Bambi legs, just trying to get his feet back up underneath him. But he feels much more confident, especially when it gets into tight coverage down the field, which is actually an aspect that Coach Josh Heupel complimented the secondary on following their scrimmage, that they were able to learn from their mistakes, get better in those tight coverage situations, and that's exactly where Christian Charles feels he's been able to take his next step.
You know, exactly what you said, you know, down the field. With an offense like ours, you know, got quick throws and then, you know, longer, deeper route concepts. You know, it's important to cover, you know, not only quickly, but, you know what I'm saying, cover for longer downfield because of our quarterback's abilities, you know what I'm saying, to get out of the pocket and make plays happen.
And it's the star position that's really taking all of our attention because Jordan Thomas, again, was expected to be the starter there. But we mentioned Boo Carter kind of leading the charge in that competition, but right there with him is Christian Harrison, who's seen a lot of playing time here at Tennessee as a reserve defensive back and in special teams play. A year ago, the redshirt sophomore played in 5 games. He didn't have any starts. The year prior, he saw action in 8 games as a reserve and on special teams. There, he tallied 9 tackles and half a tackle for loss. But Coach Martinez says he's liking where Harrison is progressing. And while there's still plenty of questions around who's going to be the starter and what position, what's the depth chart going to look like, and how are they really truly progressing, their greatest strength is that in that unit, they're just a bunch of players, coaches, especially like Will Brooks. Anytime any one of the guys have a question, they say that he's the one that they go to. Even Coach Martinez says sometimes he can't even get to the players fast enough because Will Brooks is already there trying to coach the guys up. There's no shouting, no screaming, and no blame placing, but they do have this ability to keep each other accountable, which we've seen in all of the other units here on the field. So it's, you know, reassuring to see that that's still happening in the defensive back room. And again, Will Brooks being that guy that the team really relies on.
I just heard him. Like I just said a little while ago, I can't get a word in, especially if Will Brooks, he's in my pod in these special team groups. You know, obviously we got 8 to 10 guys, and I want to go correct the guy, and Will's already beat me there, you know. And sometimes he says it better than I do, you know, from a standpoint of the personality, because he keeps me in check myself, you know, about not losing it when you're trying to correct somebody. So you saw it from the beginning, because again, he made some plays in space, and then, okay, you watch him in the meeting room, and gosh, he's all over the scheme. He understands it, and you knew that he was going to have success here.
It's an off day for Tennessee. Tomorrow on Tuesday, we'll hear from the team again. On Wednesday, they have a morning practice followed by the usual press conference, though those open practices to media are dwindling. So if you're wanting to see what the team looks like as of now, I do suggest going down to the practice highlight section and looking at especially today's practice or even yesterday's practice as well, and see how the team is still continuing to develop, because our opportunities to see them are starting to dwindle. So if there's other people that you are wanting to see, I'll definitely try and maybe get to those guys these next couple of practices that will be open to the media. But thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll be back Wednesday with more on the team and how they're performing here inside preseason fall camp. Chat to you guys then.